Hi everyone, welcome from Acumen Accounting. As we know, the cost of living is increasing and it is making life very difficult for most of the people to basically now start paying for the basic things. And it's increasing more poverty around the middle class or low middle class people, and it's very difficult time. So I'm going to share 5 great ways to cut your tax in 2022. So in this video, I'm going to share 5 ways where you can reduce your tax bill. And if you think it's going to help you, just share the video with your friends or family, or it might benefit somebody else. So the number 1 is a pension. So if you contribute to the pension scheme, you will save up to 20% on the basic rate. You'll get a tax relief about roughly 20%. The pension is a great way. If you want to set up a private pension, you can put up to £40,000 per year into the pension pot, and then you will not pay any taxes. So in future, if your pension pot increase, there is no even inheritance tax or a capital gain tax to pay. So that is a very good way of putting your money into a pension scheme where you will reduce your tax bill, as well as you get about 20% tax relief. And that's the great way of saving money into the pensions. But you need to make sure the pension scheme is set up correctly. It's not like just set up incorrectly, because that's a very important thing to look at it. The pension is also a very regulated area if it's monitored by the FSA. So you need to make sure you select a right pension scheme. Again, if you wanted to speak, we are not people who can set up a pension scheme for you, but we can guide you and put you through the right person who can basically set up a right pension scheme for you. Number 2, how you can cut your tax bill in 2022 is ISAs. So if you put your savings into the ISA scheme, so up to 20%, if you put into the stocks or the shares in the ISAs, you don't pay any tax. And if that ISAs increase, there's no UK tax to pay. There's no capital gain tax to pay up to the £20,000. So that is another tax savings for you. If you put that 20k into the ISA scheme, there's no additional payments to make. There is no UK tax to pay. Please also don't forget the junior ISA schemes. That also is a scheme available. So it's basically you can put £9,000 every year to every qualifying child. So that is another scheme which you can look. So you can put to your kids £9,000 every year. They can withdraw that money when they are 18, or they can basically roll it to the adult scheme of the ISAs. So that's another way of reducing your tax bill. So when you're putting into the ISA scheme up to £9,000 a year, there's no UK tax to pay, there's no capital gain tax to pay, or any inheritance tax to pay. So that is another great way of putting your money away. The third one is salary sacrifice. In some cases, what you need to do is you need to see how you can save more taxes. So if you sacrifice your salary, there are some schemes by the government which you will reduce your tax bill. For example, in salary sacrifice, you can put more money into the pension, bike to work. So if you are using a bicycle to work, and there's also a technology scheme available, you need to speak to your employer and see what options are available by doing your tax, where your salary sacrifice, which will reduce your tax bill. And that's another way reducing your tax bill in 2022. The next, which is number 4, is sharing assets with your spouse. What does that mean is basically if your spouse is not basically into the higher taxpayer and you are one of the higher taxpayer, and your assets is generating money, you can share that with your spouse. So basically you can declare that income into their self-assessment tax return. For example, the property, even if it's yours, you can share that income with your spouse, and then use their personal allowance. And then what will happen is it will reduce your tax bill. So if their personal allowance is not getting used, so up to £12,570 this year, they don't have to pay any taxes. So that's another great way of saving, and that's another great way of paying less taxes in 2022. So make sure you speak to the professional when you coming to sharing your assets with your spouse, because again, it's a specialized area and you don't want to be ending up in a mess with the HMRC. So I highly recommend you speak to the professionals before you taking any steps. The last one is marriage allowance. So if your spouse or your partner is basically not in a higher tax band, they can transfer their personal allowance to you. So then you will be ending up paying less taxes. So they can transfer up to £1,260 worth of marriage allowance to you, and then your personal allowance will increase. That means you will paying less taxes this year. So I have just shared the basically 5 great ways of paying less tax in 2022. Again, if you think it's a valuable information, share with your friends and family, or subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future updates on our channel. Again, thank you for listening us. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye for now.